If you are a software engineer in India and you have between 3 and 7 years of experience, this briefing is for you. What is happening right now in Bengaluru, in Pune, Hyderabad, and Chennai? Well, this is not some future prediction. It is the present reality. The insights we're about to cover come from Srikanchan Bhowmik, who is a corporate AI trainer for some of India's top companies. So this isn't the kind of generic advice you scroll past on LinkedIn. This is what's being discussed inside closed-door corporate strategy sessions. And the group most affected by this massive shift, it isn't the freshers, and it's not the senior architects. It's the engineers with 3 to 7 years of experience. If you are a 3 to 7 year engineer in India, stay until the end. What I am about to show you in the next 9 minutes will change how you see your next appraisal conversation.
Let's start with the numbers, because where opinions create noise, data provides clarity. Look at this. In 2021, TCS hired 40,000 freshers, a huge number. Now, fast forward to 2024, that number has dropped to under 12,000.
Meanwhile, Infosys, they've had 0 mass lateral hiring announcements for mid-level roles for most of this year. And Wipro has been completely restructuring entire delivery units, actively replacing manual teams with AI-assisted workflows. Let's be very clear, this is a structural shift. It is not a temporary downturn.
So this brings us to the crucial question. Why is the engineer with 3 to 7 years of experience the one who is most at risk? Well, think about it. A fresher is inexpensive and can be trained. A senior architect, on the other hand, is managing complex system design and client relationships. But the mid-level engineer, your role is typically the execution layer. Just think about your last week. You write feature code, you fix bugs, you write unit tests, and you document APIs. You're doing code reviews, building dashboards, maybe handling some support tickets. This is the core of the mid-level engineering role. Now, here is the hard truth. Every single one of those tasks can now be accelerated or even automated by an AI tool. GitHub Copilot is writing production-quality code. Amazon Code Whisperer can complete entire functions from just a simple comment. And ChatGPT, it can debug complex errors in less than a minute. This isn't the future. This is the state of the industry today. So, let's move to a framework that will help you diagnose your own personal risk level. There are 3 distinct layers of exposure. I want you to see which one of these applies to you.
The first layer is what we'll call the pure coder. If your value is measured primarily in the volume of code you write, your position is the most exposed. Now, this is not because coding is going away. It's because the economics of coding are changing. A single senior engineer, armed with the right AI tools, can now produce the same output as 3 mid-level coders, and companies are already making these calculations.
Layer 2 is the process executor. Your day is spent managing Jira tickets, coordinating between teams, and running daily stand-ups. Now, this might sound like management, but it's really process administration. And AI-powered project management tools and automated workflow platforms, they are collapsing this role from the inside out.
And layer 3, the commoditized specialist. You're a mean stack developer. You're a React developer. Your skills are identical to 200,000 other engineers in the market. Now, when an AI can generate a working React component in 30 seconds, the raw value of simply knowing that framework, it decreases dramatically. Your differentiation is simply disappearing.
Here is an uncomfortable truth. Most engineers in this specific experience bracket fall into one, if not more, of these layers. Now, this is not a personal failing. It's not a character flaw. It is what the system trained you to be, but that system has fundamentally changed. If this is the first time you are hearing this kind of breakdown, not opinion, but actual role-level analysis, hit subscribe. I do this every week for Indian engineers and managers. Free, no course to sell right now.
Now, let's shift from risk to opportunity. Because while many of these roles are exposed, about 10% of engineers are creating a significant career advantage for themselves. Srikanchan calls them AI-augmented engineers.
And they all share 3 specific behaviors. First, they treat AI as a multiplier, not a threat. Their personal output has tripled, and you can be sure their manager has noticed. Second, they've moved up the value chain, from execution to judgment. They aren't just writing the code anymore, they're making decisions about which AI tool is right for the job. Judgment is the one thing that cannot be automated. And third, they have developed a deep domain vertical. An engineer who understands AI plus healthcare, for example, is simply not competing with generic developers anymore.
So the essential takeaway is this.
The shift is not away from engineering itself. The shift is from being a commodity engineer to becoming an AI-native domain expert. And this transition is available to you right now, but it's going to require deliberate action. This brings us to an actionable plan. Srikanchan recommends 3 very specific strategic moves you can make. I want you to pause here. Seriously. Open your phone notes right now and write down the 3 tasks you did most this week. We will come back to this in 90 seconds. That list is your personal AI risk audit.
All right, step 1. Audit your role using that list you just made. For each task, ask, can an AI tool do this? If over 60% of your time is spent on replaceable tasks, you have a 12-month window to act. Step 2, master one AI tool in the next 30 days. Go deep on GitHub Copilot. Become the absolute go-to person on your team. Depth beats breadth here. And step 3, own a business problem. I want you to shift your identity from I build software to I use AI to reduce customer churn. That kind of positioning is what survives AI disruption.
We have now arrived at the decision point. The next 12 months are going to be critical. The hiring data we saw is clear. The risk is tangible, but so is the opportunity.
There are 5 million mid-level software engineers in India. Those who adopt over the next 12 to 18 months will define the next decade of this industry. Those who do not will face a market with structurally fewer roles that fit their profile. Simply by watching this analysis, you are already positioning yourself ahead of the curve. Forward this video to one engineer you know who is between 3 and 7 years into their career. Not to scare them, to give them a 12-month head start. That one share could genuinely change their trajectory.
This slide right here summarizes the choice ahead of you. You can remain the commodity engineer, executing tasks, knowing a common stack, being a cost center, being replaceable. Or you can become the AI-native expert, exercising judgment, solving real business problems, and acting as an indispensable value multiplier. The choice is yours to make. Subscribe for weekly AI career breakdowns built specifically for Indian engineers and managers. Drop your current role and years of experience in the comments. I will personally tell you your AI risk level. And if you want to go deeper, the link to AI Skill Ace is in the description.
This has been a strategic briefing on behalf of Srikanchan Bhowmik. We will see you in the next one.